Welcome back to the Standout Buffalo podcast. This week we're joined by Bills running back Ray Davis. Welcome to the show, brother.
Appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, I felt it my rookie year, and oftentimes rookies will talk about hitting that rookie wall. You just go from your college season right to combine training, then you got the draft, you show up at OTAs and go right into an even longer NFL season. How's the body feeling this time of year?
Body's feeling good. Like you said, it's about 7, 8 months of hard grinding from bowl game to draft prep to Senior Bowl to combine, a bunch of different things. So, just really about taking care of your body, finding those routines, being around those vets, seeing what they do, Epsom salt baths, hot tubs, just finding the small things that get you prepared to keep going and have multiple years of success. But focusing on really just focusing on that game of making sure your body's ready for that next week.
Some of my best advice I give guys is look, find a veteran, copy their routine, because find a guy who's in the spot that you want to be in, follow his routine, and then over time sculpt it into your own, because everybody's different. But in college you have strength coaches telling you where to be and everybody's telling you what to do, and then you get some extra free time in the league and you want to follow those veterans. So I love that answer from you. At any point, whether it's preseason, early in the year, did you ever have a welcome to the NFL moment, anything maybe embarrassing, or even on the other side, just like a signature moment you're like, all right, I'm here now?
Yeah, I haven't had one yet. It'll probably come soon, I bet. But to be honest, I would say mine was really just understanding that sometimes you go from being in college where you are the guy, and then you come into a new situation where you have to adapt to just trying to become one of the guys. And I think that was something that was challenging at first, but I embraced it because I get to be in a room with James Cook and Ty. I get to learn from two good vets who've been in the league for some years now, and just understanding that my role could expand as years goes on, where I may become a vet and I have to be able to talk to that rookie and let him know days are going to be hard, things are going to be frustrating, but embrace it and love it. We're the 1% that's here. Everybody would love to be in those shoes and just taking it day by day and enjoying it. So I would say just trying to not be so hard on myself and have fun. I think that would be my biggest rookie wall. I mean, my biggest welcome to the NFL moment was just embracing it and loving it.
Yeah. Has there been any big hits? Like, has anyone hit you this year and you're like, man, that felt a little different? I know you played big time SEC ball, but was there anybody this year like, all right, that dude can thump?
I wouldn't say I don't have a specific player, but I will say that Patriots game, how cold it was, backside 3 tech got me, and I felt a little ringing in my ear, and I was like, yeah, that one, that cold plus the hit, that was hurting a little bit.
Oh, yeah. That cold makes it sting just a little bit extra. I was walking on the field before the game, too, and the ground was frozen, where the ground is extra hard as well, where it doesn't feel good to fall down on that as well. All right. So I know each week you're watching film, you're seeing other groups on tape, but in your opinion, do you feel like the Bills have the best offensive line in the league?
I think our guys show up each and every day, man. They get in my opinion, they get a lot of credit, but they should get a lot more credit because those guys, grab their hard hat to lunch pail and they just do what they do. When you got Deion Dawkins left tackle playing his game, feeling comfortable, you got Dave at left guard. I mean, he's the mastermind. You go ask Dave a question, he knows from every front to every set to just always talking post snap, pre snap. Connor's, Connor, that's the governor right there. That guy's on the front, setting everything, setting the tone for how things are going to go. Cybo, I mean, big dog Cybo, what, second year in the league, and he's already playing like a vet. And then you got Spence. Spence is 6'10", looks like 6'10" to me, as I'm short. But that's a guy again who comes to work and they love it, man. So I definitely think we have a hard working offensive line who wants to just to keep showcasing that their coach Crowley is a guy who believes in them and is going to keep showing them the best way to to be able to be the best offensive line in the NFL.
I love that. All right. So I'm getting this from you now. You called him the governor. Is Connor's new nickname going to be the Mick Governor?
I'm not good at nicknames. Listen, I like the nickname I got from Dave the Stallion. So you probably got to go to Dave, and he'll probably come up with a better nickname than the governor. But I like it. I like the Connor the Gov, man.
Yeah, Mick Governor.
Mick Governor, yeah.
Mick Governor. All right, quick shout out to Prime. Appreciate them always supporting the show. Go check out their collabs they got with Kevin Durant, the WWE, Aaron Judge, more to come. Go check them out. All right, so you get to play with Josh Allen your rookie year. So you've never been around other quarterbacks in the building, but I know you see a lot of ball around the league. Does he have your vote? If you were an MVP voter, would he have your vote this year?
1,000% he got my vote. It's a no brainer. Again, what Josh has done over his years in the NFL, what he has just done in the past couple years, and he continuously shows that he's a guy who works at a high extreme level. And he loves hanging out with the guys, man. Like I think a lot of guys have to understand that he's just one of the boys. He
Hmm.
loves playing ball. He loves just being out there, and football's fun to him. And I think when you see how exciting it is watching him play and just being it's effortless to him. And again, he has he'd have my vote a million times if I could vote a million times. And I know it's very like that in our building, and everyone believes Josh should be the MVP and is the MVP of the NFL.
Yeah, for sure. He would have my vote as well. I don't think they're going to give me one with my affiliation with the franchise, though. All right, I want to talk to you about James Cook. So James Cook comes in out of Georgia. He's raw. People thought he was going to play more of a receiving role, and he's developed into just an every down back. Talk to me about what impresses you most about James Cook game.
I try to take as much as I can from James Graham. I mean, he's so elusive. His decision making is top tier, and I mean, obviously, he's breaking so many tackles this year and getting those extra yards. And he's fighting. I think that's a good thing is he's fighting to become a top five back in the NFL. And I think what he's done so far has proven that. And to be able to be in a room where I get to watch this guy work each and every day. I mean, Coach McDermott gave him a shout out in the during camp, and James finishes every run in the end zone after every run. And that showed me right there that he is manifesting doing that every game, and we've seen that every game. So that's something that I've always tried to do myself. Hey, always picture yourself getting that end zone. Maybe it could be a 2, 3 yard run in practice, make that a 60 yard. It doesn't matter because in the game you'll get that opportunity. How you envisioning yourself doing it. So seeing James do that each and every day, he comes to work, he embraces the competitiveness that we all bring in the room, and he continues to show why he's a top five back in this league.
Yeah, what impresses me the most, just kind of with his inexperience coming into the league, is his patience, timing, and then burst. A lot of guys have the speed, but they can't time it up with the offensive line. They can't time it up with the scheme. You guys run zone, you run trap schemes, you got all types of different schemes, and he runs them all so well. And then as an offensive lineman, we like a guy who, one, when we give a little penetration at times, he can make us look good, get up the field, not take a big TFL. But when you get him to the third level, we need you to take care of business. And he's been finishing those runs this year, 4 touchdowns, over 40 yards. So been impressed with my man, James Cook. And I'll give you your flowers too. And I've given you your flowers on this show as well. We also like the thumper. We like the dude that when that backer comes downhill, he's got to feel you as well. And that next time he might not feel downhill. He might not come up and try and pick off the double team on us. So we appreciate it back like you as well. All right. So you're 5'9", listed about 220, compact back. So you're hard to see behind the line of scrimmage, but then you often are going to have, and you're generally going to have leverage on the defender as well based upon your height. But then you have Derrick Henry at 6'4", 250 pounds, and he's lighting the league on fire. Do you feel like as a running back, it's more advantageous to be smaller so you can be shiftier and get under guys, or to be that freak show like Derrick Henry?
I think you got to. I think you got to be yourself. You got to be what you classify as a running back. I think for me, I've always heard I was a thumper. I always heard I was a bell cow, a bruiser. A guy who's going to go in and churn out tough yards. But I've always seen myself as a scat back. I've always seen myself as a guy who can go out there and catch, who can go out there and make the cuts, get upfield, do the burst and acceleration. So it's whatever you feel like you are, but it's about doing it at your top level. And I think with Derrick Henry, I mean, he has all the attributes as a running back, and I think that's the good thing is he was blessed with being also 6'5" or something. And so he uses his ability and his size to his strength, and I think any other running back uses the same. James is speed. As we know, James, again, he can take a 40-yarder, 50, 60-yarder to the crib. So, if you got a bad angle at James, you're not going to get him. And that's something he uses to his leverage. So, as a running back, you got to be able to use whatever God is gifting you to be able to leverage yourself against any opponents.
And, everyone has saw you as a thumper as the Bills draftee. Okay, it's going to be a nice 1-2 punch between you and James Cook. But as a University of Louisville graduate, I watched you against my Cardinals last year return a kickoff for a touchdown, take another one to the house. And so I was like, well, I'll tell you this. Yes, he's got some power and he's built for power, but that dude could take it to the house when need be. So I see you. I see some scat back in you as well. And I know that's going to come to fruition. Let's take a quick break to hear from one of our sponsors, and that's Dan-O's Seasoning. Go check out their new game day pack. They got 4 different seasoning in there. All of them are absolutely killer. No sugar in there, all natural. Go check them out. danosseasoning.com or at a retailer store all around the country. Yum, yum, get you some. All right, real quick. When Saquon went from the Giants over to the Eagles, did you envision that he could have a season like this?
I mean, it sucks. I'm going to say this, but I actually grew up a Giants fan. I'm a Giants fan, die hard since the catch days, the Eli, Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw. Like I admire, man. I can go on and on. I was a big fan. So when I saw him leave, it sucked. But I mean, Saquon's a baller. Anywhere he goes, he was going to put up numbers like that. And we're just watching. We're watching greatness. We're watching history. I think that's a good thing about the NFL, man. Is it's so much history that's been making that happens in the season. Like we're watching Josh do some unbelievable things. We're watching Saquon. We're watching Lamar, Jimbo doing a crazy 16, 17 touchdowns for a running back. It's number 2 in the NFL, I think, or something like that. Like we're watching history be made. And I think watching a guy like Saquon continue to elevate and set the standard of, hey, I'm doing some things. So I know these other guys are going to continue to do things. So I got to keep doing it. So I just shows the competitiveness that the NFL continues to bring, year and year.
Yeah, I know you're just a rookie, but do you see that there is almost a resurgence among running backs in the NFL? If you look at the all purpose yards this year compared to maybe 4 years ago, out of the top 20, like 15, 16 were all receivers. Now it's like 12 ish are running backs. Are you seeing more of a resurgence with the running back position now that defenses are almost building themselves to stop, 3 wide receiver sets?
For us as running backs, we have to reintroduce ourselves. Kind of like Jay-Z said, allow me to reintroduce myself. And I think Saquon's doing it. Christian McCaffrey did it for so long. There's a lot of Aaron Jones. There's a lot of guys who had to reintroduce the position and let them know it is a valuable position. We can catch, we can run, and we can block. To be a running back, you have to, do all 3. So it's one of those positions where you have to just continue to show that you can do it all. You can't just be a one-dimensional back. You got to be versatile. And I think, as you can see, like you said, 12 guys are in the all-purpose, and that's from catching the ball, from running the ball, and yards after carry. It's about just being a versatile back in every facet of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last one for me. What's your favorite wing spot in Buffalo?
I don't even have one yet. I'll be honest with you, man. I haven't. I've only been to 2 wing spots since then, and everyone looks at me a little weird when I get ranch. So I have become a little cautious. So I just stay at home and make my own wings now.
We're gonna get you
Yeah.
on some blue cheese though, and we'll
Uh,
get you some wing spots to try this offseason. I understand that during the season that might not be the healthiest
I
meal.
want to I want to try barbell though. I think Josh had told me about that. So a couple guys said that. So I want to try that spot out. To be honest.
Barbell is legit. And,
Yeah, I want to try it
everyone
out.
says it on the podcast and people get mad. Oh, you got to try different spots and whatnot. But generally, cliches are cliches for a reason. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everyone says they're the best because they're pretty dang good. And yes, there's other great spots in Buffalo, but Barbell is tough to beat.
You got to shout out Lenovo. They
Yep.
got some good wings. Wing Nuts. That was my first. Besides Lenovo, Wing Nuts was my first official place. I loved it. It was really good. It looked at me a little bit weird when I ordered ranch, but I would say that it was a high 9.5 with the wings over there.
Yeah, Wing Nuts is awesome. We just did a wing tour of Buffalo. I did it with some buddies, and I did their suicide wings. Do not do that. Don't do it.
Nah, I'm
It's
all
not
right.
worth
I'm all
testing
right.
it. It ruined about an hour of my life after that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay away from those but you got some pretty good spots there. Ray, I appreciate the time. Good luck this weekend. Good luck in the playoffs. Stay healthy and keep doing your thing, brother.
Thank you so much again for allowing me to come on here and just spit some game with you, man.
Absolutely. My pleasure, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
I know you've been seeing me rocking these tees each week on the podcast. Was wearing them on the wing tour. Last week, I had that Beef Weck 24 shirt on. It's got a lot of great comments on it. Those are from our friends at Blue Cheese Mafia. Go check them out on their website, bluecheesemafia.com. You can follow them on social media as well. Go support a friend of the show.